Well, Mojang just dropped the new update 22W14A, and with it we finally have the new Mangrove Swamp. And I for one could not be more excited to explore the new mangrove swamps. The new terrain is vast and full of life, and it gives us the possibility to fill it with magic it has never seen before. So let's do that. Hello and welcome to one of my Minecraft update videos. And I have been waiting for this day for a long while because finally we have the mangrove swamp, and man, I love this. I think this is really cool, even though this one I am in right now is very big and very dense. I don't know if that's always gonna be like that, but you know, I enjoy it the way it is right now. Maybe a few less trees, but other than that, this is really cool. So now that we finally have the mangrove forest, I thought I want to build something in here. Every time a new biome gets introduced, I get a new wave of inspiration, and right now I have a few ideas how we can build some new buildings in this new biome. So let's take a look at what we can do. As I stated before, this place is very dense and very hard to navigate through. This is obviously one of those forest kind of things because, yeah, I'm having a hard time getting through here. So I thought, you know, maybe I would just need a building where I can overlook everything, you know, see everything from above. And look at this bee just absolutely losing its mind. What is going on? Anyway, the thought of overlooking this entire area gave me an idea. So let me show you what I have thought of. I started off with clearing out a little area because this thing is just way too dense. And after I cleared out a little space for myself, I started building a pit. A pit that looks as barren and as dead as possible. And that's what I got. After I finished my pit, I started building stilts on which I would later then build my new house. And well, some of you maybe already know what I am doing based on the fact that I built stilts and we are in a swamp. Well, I will now stop torturing you and I will show you what I have done. I have created a monster and it's looking at me. Yeah, so let's take a look at what I have done. So when I think of witches, I personally tend to think on their houses walking around on chicken legs, which is a legend of witches that is fairly common in Eastern Europe. And this is basically my take on it. Yeah. So you can see I created the walking witch hut on the chicken legs. And I think that's actually very cool. I think it looks really cool. So let's take a look at how that thing works. You see, the pit I did down here is specifically the pit where the house came from. And oh, we have some frames here, but I think it's fine. So yeah, we have the pit. And I really like the chicken legs. I used for those chicken legs the brand new mangrove wood. I thought, you know, if we're already in a mangrove forest or mangrove swamp, I might as well use some mangrove wood, and it just works so well for this use. You can see I gave it some little chicken legs. I especially like how this chicken leg looks. I think it's looking really chickeny, and I think that's a good thing. And then it's just walking around this giant forest, and while I was building this thing, I kind of came up with the idea of giving it a big eye. So now the house is alive and it's staring at me and it's just looking around, and I think it's just looking so sinister and so cool. This is actually a thing you could like build for Halloween on a Halloween themed server or something like that. I think it works out really fine and it's just really cool. Obviously I could have done a little bit more details here and there, like, I don't know, maybe putting some trap doors around the windows, something like that. just to give it a little bit more character, but you know, I really want to get this video out as soon as possible. That's also the reason why I didn't do an interior for this build. You can of course imagine your own interior for this build, but I didn't do one because I really want to put this thing out as quickly as I can. But if we take a look around that thing, if we look at the backside of it, there's something I find very funny. It is actually like grinning at you. It has a different expression from the other side, and I really like that. I think that's really cool. So yeah, this is my Baba Yaga house, walking around on chicken legs, stilts, and I really like it. I think the dynamic works out really well. And actually, you know, if you're doing witch huts in Minecraft, I recommend doing something like that. It's actually really fun. By the way, the legs were the easiest part of the entire build. I struggled a lot getting the form of the build that I wanted to have, and I just landed on this one, but I had quite a few houses here before I had this one. So yeah, do it. Make this house. I think it's really cool. I think it looks pretty epic, especially if we go far. I don't know, I just think like from here this thing just looks really menacing and kind of evil, and I really like this evil house. It's really cool. I really like it. And if we like, wait, let's make the weather a little bit worse. So let's go thunder. Yeah. Just look at this evil house coming towards you. Yeah, that's cool. I really like that. Can we get some thunder, please? Okay, it's not coming. But that's the first build I did here, and I think it's there we go. I think it's really, really cool. But this was a fairly big build, so let's do something a little bit smaller for a change, I think. Do you remember the river I rode in on? Well, of course you do. It was beautiful. Well, you know you always need a good boat, so I got something for you. Let's just look at this. Isn't this a beautiful, nice little boat? I would say so. This is a beautiful little boat. What? Why is it suddenly so dark? What is this? Why is it so? Ah, no, my God. Okay. I'm a bad actor. Well, okay. Obviously the boat is not the main attraction. It's this thing. And just look at this. This is the Swamp Man. I call him the Swamp Man. You can alternatively call him the Swamp Monster. Well, I got the idea when I first saw these beautiful trapdoors, and I just pressed every single button except for the one I wanted to. The trapdoors, the mangrove trapdoors, they are just so perfectly round, I just couldn't help myself but make eyes out of them, and I think this thing is terrifying. It's perfect. I love him. He is my creation. The Swamp Man, also made out of mangrove wood, because, you know, mangrove is kind of the theme of this episode. So he has his giant limbs, the same as the witch hut's legs, and he has hair made out of the mangrove roots. But obviously, you know, the main thing I want to look at is the trapdoor. I think this is a great use for the trapdoors, and just looks so menacing. I'm not yet sure if it's better with or without the teeth. Just... oh my God, this is much more terrifying. Yeah, no teeth is much more terrifying. Look at him. Look at this monster. It's beautiful and I love it. Now, if you take a little bit of a closer look at him, he is actually just a combination of randomly placed blocks that I then made a little bit more bulbous around the head. But other than that, I just tried to give him his curve. Same thing with the arms. Maybe you can have, a little block here, so that it looks a little bit more natural. And the main thing with what I learned when building, animals or beasts or monsters or something, organic stuff, is make it seem random. You know, the blocks don't have to be as formulaic as you would have them in like a building. And give them eyes and a mouth, and basically everything is possible as long as they have eyes and a mouth. They always seem alive. And this one, the longer I look at him, the crazier he gets. Just he kind of enthralls me, sucking me in. But I think that's that. We made the mangroves a lot more magical than they already are, and I hope you had fun watching me do some stupid stuff in this area. I hope I see you next time whenever I upload a video, and until then, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.